I'd like to acknowledge the Deputy Minister, the Honorable Hanif Hendricks in the room. Brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. When Uncle Solly came to speak to me a few weeks ago and told me, Farad, please, will you allow INX to cover this event for us? Please bring us on. No problem, Uncle Solly, we'll cover your event for you. We'll do it. We don't have any money. No problem, we'll come across. So that's why I'm here tonight. And thank you, Uncle Solly, for bringing us through. When I was asked to say a few words, I was asked to speak on INX Prime. But really, where's media at? If we want a valuable discussion about where we're going and what we're doing, we need to understand that both from taking from what Uncle Solly said, moving on to what Amin said, there's a marked shift within the world. As Seth Godin says, marketing is no longer about the stories you tell, but rather no longer about the products you sell, but rather about the stories you tell and the emotions they instill. When I started off many years ago in media, we launched an OTT platform. That's TV to your phone, as you know, is Netflix in 2002 with Stan Katz at the time. The world has progressed. At that time, we always centered ourselves to say the mobile phone will be the future of media consumption. 20-odd years later, it has become a reality. Now, let's look at what's happened to the media landscape. 30, 40 years ago, we had 1, 2, 3 channels to market our products. We knew how to reach our audiences. We had a few print publications. We had a little bit of media to speak to. Today, we are flooded and inundated with media in so many forms that in order to reach any sort of audiences, we need to reshape and rethink the way in which we communicate and the way in which we are able to see a return on investment. Social media platforms like Facebook, YouTube, TikTok have given us two things. One, the grip of conventional media's ownership of the narrative has been somewhat swayed by stories being able to break through. But more importantly, relationships are able to be built again. Let's go back. It's no longer about the products you sell. It's about the stories you tell and the relationships you make telling those stories. Bringing that client, bringing that customer into an affectionate situation with you. This actually goes back to what our forefathers did when they were selling in their shops. It was relationship-based. Today we need to rethink the relationship from an individual one-on-one, but to a digital platform of one-to-many of selected audiences that speak to you. But something else has happened in the world. Streaming platforms have created more noise and more noise. I'll tell you one thing, channels that are within the DSTV spectrum have lost a huge amount of viewership. Channels that focus around community viewership have managed to gain some sort of areas. But social media platforms have managed to penetrate to the next level. They've managed to introduce marketplaces right within from an instant gratification, allowing you to tell your story, entice the client, and get an immediate purchase decision on the spot. What about AI content creation? There's this big buzzword. Part of Think Big Network, we've got Black, which is a digital agency. Many customers come across where we can create this with AI. Yes, you can, provided the AI has been guided along a narrative and the ability to create a succinct campaign. Your cost factors of paying someone thousands of rands to deliver a graphic have now fallen to measly few rands, provided the strategy is correct. What about data-driven precision? Henry Ford once said, I know 50% of my marketing budget is wasted. I just don't know which 50%. We're in 2024. If you still don't know which 50% is wasted, you're doing something wrong. Very, very wrong. So with data-driven insights, your targeted messaging allows you to understand your clientele, allows you to measure your response from your clientele. And if you are agile and ahead of the game, you can use this to build that loyal offering and become relevant in this new world. Your products have not been lost. What you've done has not been lost, but the way in which you do business has to change. Another big thing that's happened is privacy concerns. The world has always created a bureaucratic landscape in which to work. With the introduction of POPIA and GDPR, I don't know about you, but since the introduction, I get 30 calls more of spam on my phone. So I'm sure most of you do. But We need to understand how to navigate that landscape and be compliant in protecting the data of our customers and our users. The monetization strategies have changed completely. It's no longer about selling just a product. It's about retaining a customer. It's about offering a service. It's about fulfilling a need. We move from subscription models to ad-supported content, etc., etc. Where do I see the future going? With the launch of Google's Vision glasses and a range of other objects, imagine walking through a street, myriads of billboards popping up, an understanding of who you are as a client based on your interactions, taking you through a whole immersive journey of consumption, consumerism, and more neglected time. Do we hide away from this? Do we run away from it, or do we embrace it? These are questions I leave you with to think about and ponder upon. Remember, in a world of customer relationships that focuses around the internet, your competitor is just one click away. With that, Jazakallah khairan. Needed to say a few words to speak to you. I hope it was informative. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.